the Tea Party movement radicalized the Republican Party, encouraging them to abandon mutual toleration. Republican leaders began to say that President Obama did not love America, that Obama and Democrats weren't real Americans. The birther movement went a step further, questioning whether President Obama even had a right to be president if he was not born in the United States. Let me just give you one example. Colorado Congressman Mike Coffman declared, for example, in mid-2000s, I don't know.
Blah, 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 blah. I mean, they go on and on and on. Now, this is a problem I have with guys like, well, all of them. And look at them. They got suits. They own houses. They have wives, and they live well. They make a living. The fascists don't, crush them and make them die poor. So they're part of the show. What do I have to say about this? Balderall. Useless. None of this has anything to do with how to stop fascism. Because he's been going on I've been listening to him for half an hour, waiting for some kind of revelation out of all of it. And yes, I like my spelling. And I do. That's how I spell fascism. This is how I spell capitalism. Because you know what? It's not fascism. It's fascism. It's not fascism. It's not capital ism. It's pronounced ism. It's pronounced IZM. So, I have a spell checker. I can go here and I can say edit, and it tells me all this stuff is wrong. I know. So, well, I haven't been attacked by a Nazi lately. So let's have some fun real quick. I'll go and show you a couple of funny memes before we leave, right? So what else do I say? And that should be the conversation. So it says, I say, yeah, and yes, I like my spelling. The way you end fascism is by getting behind progressives. And that should be the conversation whenever you have this discussion. Without it, it's just showy balderall. Balderall. It's, because we're stuck in this game. This is not a game. This is people's lives. These are my friends down the street. These are my friends on the other side of town. And my friends on the other side of the tracks. Right? I mean, this is their lives. But you want us to all participate in your little show, your little game. Whether it's Chris Hedges or this guy or... you talk and talk and talk, and nothing ever happens. And don't get me wrong, I agree with a lot of what you say, but who cares? Who cares what happened in Nazi Germany? Who cares what happened to different presidents in the past? What matters is now. We need to look much harder at why Americans can't seem to grow a pair and do what's right. And we all know why that is. Whoops, my mistake. The capitalist system is all about making sure they don't. And it is. And a lot of what I talk about, I'm an economist, so, I got a business degree and I've been studying capitalism and fascism and all that, all communism, all my life. And I say that the capitalist system is just all about making sure that people who would point out the deficiencies of it, would point out the corruption of it, would point out how immoral the whole system is. Well, even this guy, I'll give him that. That's what he's doing. He's trying to point out how fascist things are, and Chris Hedges, God love him, is constantly trying to point out how capitalism is fucked up. And he's constantly trying to say that the capitalist system is somehow going to crash and burn. Look, Chris, I mean, you need to grow a brain, not a pair of balls. Because the capitalist system is more powerful than it's ever been, stronger. It's not going anywhere unless we get up and do something about it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to crash on its own. It's fully self-sustained by the greed of the very wealthy who run it. And we all know why the people who, all the way from the bottom, who don't benefit at all the way up to like 75% of the population, of which a certain percentage of them are really bought off. They make a lot of money, and then you've got a ladder going down. So that's how they do it, and then those people have a multitude of ways that they do it. The media, the legal system, oppression, the police state. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, but you all know what that is. And they're all very much part of the capitalist system. It's very tyrannical. The capitalist system is all about making sure they don't, in a multitude of very devious ways. That right there is a valid reason to completely end capitalism. It is, right? I mean, it's a completely valid reason. And the men and women who run it in their own self-interest, in their own interest. Yeah. Don't go and listen to this guy for an hour and 42 minutes about how democracies die. The question is, when's the last time a democracy in this world ever had a pulse? What democracy stood up to the capitalist system? Show me.